this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Klim Kalike Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, so today we're talking about Saturn Retrograde. So the retrograde starts on June 29th until November 15th. Now, it will first start in the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada, and then it will enter Shawtee on October 3rd, and then it will re-enter Purva Bhadrapada on December 27th. Now, we're going to be reviewing events from mid-March 2024 until June 2024. It is also important to note that Saturn is stationed right now and has been since June 25th and will be until July 5th. So that means that between this time right now is the most impactful energy of Saturn and where we'll see the most events occur around the world. So we're going to be repeating, reviewing, and redoing those events from March till June, and we'll see that around the world. Now, Purva Bhadrapada is the nakshatra of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So this year we saw the dark side of the entertainment industry and the elite come to light, which is a part of the symbolism of this nakshatra. Many very well-known celebrities and elites were outed as having a double life. Diddy, for example, is one example. And in 1995, during the same transit, we had the O.J. Simpson trial. O.J. Simpson was found on October 3rd, not guilty for murder during the retrograde. I explained in my Saturn transit video that I made last year that many celebrity trials will emerge and that we'll see this on display. Another example of this is the Donald Trump trial. I'm not following any of this, just like the headlines, but understand that these trials are scripted. And not many people are going to tell you that because I've been in the entertainment industry and I understand how these things play out. Now, Purva Bhadrapada is about dark occult rituals. So sometimes these are humiliation rituals for those who did not go by the agenda and lost their purpose and are no longer needed. And some of these trials are those who are just playing the part, like the Donald Trump trial. Now, this is ruled by Aja Akapada, which is also the modern-day Baphomet, used in rituals in Western occultism, and magic to the masses. Now, magic is the ability to influence the mind of another. And what better way to do that than with the media? The point is that we got to see the double sides of these individuals. I suspect that we'll see more and possible trials like the O.J. Simpson trial to divert the attention of the masses from real-world events. So if you look at how O.J. Simpson was found not guilty, you're probably going to see the same thing with Trump found not guilty during the Saturn retrograde. Now, with this, there's a sense of cutting off. So we're going to be reviewing what is working for us and what isn't. So what needs to be destroyed? So what is meant to be cannot be destroyed. Only what is meant to transform will do so, and something always takes its place. There is no endings, only cycles. So this can be with people who were not who you thought they were. This is the front legs of the funeral cot. So unfortunately, this can literally mean death as it stations and aspects Mars, which can be very aggressive in acts of all kinds. Mars, Saturn, and Rahu are all aspecting Scorpio at this time, so major weather disasters are very likely involving water or lack thereof. But the earth shakings, such as landslides, floods, earthquakes, etc., are very possible. This is the final dissolution of the ruling deity Rudra, which is the storm god, in its most destructive form. But remember, he destroys what needs to be destroyed based on past karma so that something new can take its place. So whatever happens, remember, you're ridding yourself of this karma. This is a transformation and not an ending. It may feel like it when you are in fear. Transformation can be very difficult, like birth or death, but it's not the end. It's the beginning. It's time to purify yourself and raise your level of consciousness through humility. If you lack humility or are too attached to the physical realm, Saturn will teach you not to be in a very forceful way. With Jupiter, which is the lord of this nakshatra in Rohini until August 20th, can involve a transformation in assets. This can be more or less depending on your chart. This is the ox cart, which brings the harvest, the wheels of commerce. So this can involve the financial sector and also relationships and family. After August 20th, when Jupiter enters Megashira, we can find ourselves searching for something new to replace what some have lost. But search within rather than chasing a mirage and going in circles, because then the answer will come. Now I'm going to give you a few examples of what happened during the last Saturn retrograde, because in October 1995, Saturn was retrograde at 25 degrees, exactly where it's going to retrograde now. On October 10th, Israel began pulling out of the West Bank and frees hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. So this is in Israel's 6th house of war, and Saturn will be aspecting Rahu at 20 degrees in its 8th house. It's natal Rahu. So Rahu is war and can denote violence, especially in Aries. On November 4th, 1995, Prime Minister Rabin was assassinated by right-wing Israeli radicals in a peace rally in Tel Aviv when Saturn was at 24 degrees. At that time, Mars was in Scorpio. This time, Mars will be in Aries, and it's making an exact conjunction with natal Rahu, which is being aspected by Saturn in the 8th house. And this can indicate the demise of the rulers, the 8th house. State funerals, the cabinet of the prime minister or president, state treasury, or risk through war or national disasters. So Rahu can bring unexpected tragedies. And Mars is also the 3rd house lord, which is neighboring countries. So this is why this played out last time, and why I do believe that you're going to see an increase in the warlike activities because of this. Palestine should also be cautious because starting November, as Saturn retrograde will be nearing an exact conjunction with its native Rahu in the 7th house. And this can create losses from an unexpected attack in the matters of war, as Saturn is also its 6th house lord, which is war and conflict. On October 26 in 1995, Israeli-Palestine conflict, Mossad agents assassinated Islamic Jihad leader in his hotel room in Malta. So as you can see, there was a lot of events, and that's why history just repeats itself. And I'm not saying necessarily that the leaders will get assassinated again, but there's definitely going to be some ongoing themes that are similar to the past because we have very similar transit. Now, Canada on October 30th, 1995, when Saturn was at 24 degrees in retrograde, it was conjunct its natal K2 in the 11th house, and Jupiter now is at 15 degrees retrograde. The provincial separatist party was organized for the second referendum in Quebec, trying to separate Quebec from Canada as its own country. And the voting took place October 30th, 1995. In the days leading up to that, Canada's future was in serious jeopardy, and the Canadian banks all shut down leading up to the referendum vote because of the uncertainty. They shut down their $30 billion a day foreign exchange market as business dried up because of the referendum. So this was cited as an indication of one severe financial consequences facing both Quebec and the rest of Canada. Now, this time, we're having the same transits. Now, Saturn is the lord of its 10th house of reputation. Saturn was aspecting its 1st house in Aries, and its ascendant is at 2 degrees, and the 8th house, which is the state treasury, public debt, foreign debt, trading, and stock markets. At this time, transiting K2 was conjunct its ascendant. This time, Mars will be in its 1st house, and its natal Jupiter is actually in Aquarius, like I mentioned, which is the 9th house lord, and of the 12th house, which is endings. Separation is not in the cards for Canada at the moment, but we can definitely see another event which can cause anger across the country, which will include its allies, the notary system, the country as a whole, its reputation. A potential split can be coming to a head, or a very close call within a split that's changing the country. And I was thinking about that. That could also be how there is this change in the government, which is happening as the liberals are not in power like they used to be. So this could have something to do with that. But there's definitely going to be some anger within the country and a very close call. So that's just a little bit what I see here for certain countries. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one.